Donald Trump launched a wild and unsubstantiated attack against Hillary Clinton last night. Take a listen.
I don't even think she's loyal to Bill. You want to know the truth. And really, folks, really, why should she be, right?
Mr. Mayor, is that normal, stable behavior for a presidential nominee to launch an unsubstantiated attack?
After she called him a racist, a misogynist, a xenophobic, I don't know, schizophrenic, and I don't know what else she called him at the end of that debate, I think it's fair. It's fair game.
Just to make stuff up, just at wild accusations. Hillary Clinton's cheating on Bill. No proof of it whatsoever. Everything's fair game.
That was a sarcastic remark pointing out that Bill Clinton has, quite a past, and Hillary Clinton has done quite a job on attacking the people who were victims of Bill Clinton. And not only that, she poses as a feminist, and she's taken money from countries that stone women, kill women,
Bill
women.
Bill Clinton's not the nominee, sir. Bill Clinton's not the nominee. And this is my last question for you. Is the Trump campaign, is Donald Trump and the people around Donald Trump really the ones to be casting aspersions on the marriages of anyone else?
It isn't a marriage. It isn't a marriage. It's the way she goes on the attack and tries to hurt victims of sexual predations. I mean, she is the one who says that victims should be taken seriously.
That wasn't about her marriage? Him saying that she's not loyal to Bill isn't about her marriage?
I am saying the problem with Hillary Clinton has nothing to do, as far as I'm concerned, with her marriage. It's her protection of Bill Clinton for 20 or 25 years against allegations of rape, taking advantage of an intern, and going on the attack and trying to make those women appear to be insane in some cases. Also, it's her posing as a feminist and taking millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars from countries that kill women, stone women, don't allow women to drive, don't allow women to have rights, and treat women as property.
I mean, I just find it hard to believe that Mr. Trump would want to start leveling accusations about people's marriages, but that's all the time we have, Mr. Mayor.
I think the accusations are about Hillary Clinton taking money from countries
The accusation
that kill
was
women.
that Hillary Clinton was cheating on Bill. That's what the accusation was. It was an unhinged and wild accusation. I can understand why you can't defend it, because it's indefensible. Mayor Giuliani, thank you so much.
That's your opinion, and thank you for allowing me to reply to that.